We've got Dodgers broadcaster and former big leaguer Jerry Hairston Jr. joining us right now. He's always on the post-game, pre-game on Sportsnet LA. Jerry, great to see you, man. What do you think of these first two games here for the Dodgers against what many looked at as maybe the top team or at least the top three team in the sport?
Oh, yeah, listen, I would be lying to you if I said I knew going in that the Dodgers would take the first two games in Philadelphia. As you guys are well aware, Philadelphia's a tough place to play, let alone win. And for the Dodgers to go out there and take the first two games on the road in Philadelphia, it's a little surprising. But, this Dodger team, they're the defending World Series champions. They played in hostile environments before, and they played great baseball. When you get great starting pitching, not good, great starting pitching like the Dodgers, they put themselves in position to win these ball games. And they're very fortunate coming up home 2-0 and have a chance to close out the series in LA.
Do we see an actual bullpen pitcher come out of the bullpen for the Dodgers the rest of the series after what we saw last night from Vesia and Treinen?
Well, listen, first, Alex Vesia was put in a tough situation. He was definitely put in a tough situation, did the best he could. He's been outstanding the entire season. Blake Treinen is an absolute warrior. He's a Dodgers legend. We don't win the World Series last year without Blake Treinen. He's battled through some injuries this year. But to really answer your question, I think we all were a little surprised that Roki Sasaki didn't get the ball in the ninth inning, up 3 runs, to really close out the Phillies there 2-0. I was surprised. I know a lot of people were surprised. I will say this. I think moving forward, I think it's pretty clear that Roki Sasaki is the Dodgers closer. I think if they're in a similar situation to close out Game 3, I think you're going to see Roki Sasaki take the mound. But, listen, the Dodger bullpen, everybody understands it hasn't been their strength. And that's why they've added guys like Tyler Glass now, put him in the pen. Sheehan did an outstanding job last night. And you see Clayton Kershaw in the bullpen as well. So it's the postseason, man. Whatever you need to do to close out games, to win ball games, you're going to do.
Do you feel like maybe Dave Roberts wasn't 100% sure of Roki in that moment? That's why he didn't make him start the ninth inning? Do you feel like it was the matchups? Because they had the off day. It wasn't the fact that, wow, he was a starter all year. I know he's coming off the injury. We don't know if he's going to be able to bounce back. There seems like a level of uncertainty from what I watch and what I see. And then when they don't bring him out in the ninth, I'm like, why would they not go to him? So I was in your camp.
Yeah, well, that's a great question. I think that was the very first question Dave Roberts was asked in his press conference after the game. And he said, listen, I have belief in Blake Treinen. He said that he wanted him, go out there and get those 3 outs, just showing confidence in him. But just seeing his facial expression, I think he knew, maybe I should have went to Roki. Now, he did also say that, he didn't want to overwork Roki Sasaki because this is a new role for him. It'll be the second time he's pitched in 3 days. But I will say this. He's built up like a starter. He was injured majority of the year, so he's fresh. And he's also young. And when you're young and you're in the postseason, you're going through so much adrenaline, those innings aren't really going to add up. So, like I said, they have the day off today. If they're in that position, hopefully the Dodgers are in that position tomorrow night, and they got a chance to close out the Phillies. If they're in that position, I have a really good feeling Roki Sasaki will be in that position to close out the game.
Yeah, he's been absolutely lights out. I want to talk about Teoscar Hernandez a little bit. This guy just seems like playoffs come around. He just absolutely finds a way to get the job done. The opposite field home run, the base hits. Like, this guy is absolutely unbelievable. They talk about, the ball in the gap, not running out to first base, but I think the way he's been hitting the ball, I think you'll take that as you move forward.
It reminds me of a young guy I played with years ago. He's coming up through the system with Reds, light tower power, named Todd Frazier. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. Frazier could hit the ball out of the ballpark anywhere. Right field, right center, dead center, doesn't matter. Teoscar Hernandez has that type of power. And listen, this season, and a lot of people aren't aware, especially guys that aren't Dodger fans, Teoscar Hernandez was battling through some groin issues and it kind of got up towards his abdomen, and he really couldn't fire his hands, fire his hips through the baseball. So he didn't have the season he would have liked. But we know once he's close to 100%, and then the bell rings of the postseason, he's that dude. Loves the bright lights, loves to be in those situations, wants to be the guy with the bat in his hands to be a difference maker at the plate. And it's no surprise to us that he's come up clutch, come up huge, not just this postseason, but last year as well. And another guy, they call him the Hernandez brothers, Kiké Hernandez. It's no secret to us. He's a difference maker in the postseason. He just lights up when the bright lights are on and the postseason's here. Those two guys, man, Kiké and Teoscar, man, those guys have been clutch in the postseason so far. We expect them to continue to play well because we're going to desperately need them if this team's going to repeat.
The best hitter with runners in scoring position would be clutch, and that's Will Smith. Has Will Smith rehabbed enough in the NLDS against big league baseball teams to say, okay, we're starting you in game 3? I mean, I've never seen anything like it. The guy's not healthy enough to start. He's one of your clutch hitters, and yet he's played half the game. So are they just building him up? Are they going to have like an inning where they roll it over too? So it's like spring training?
I haven't seen it either. It's amazing. And I will say this. Ben Rortvedt has done an incredible job behind the plate, calling pitches, and he's had that rapport with the starting pitchers. So the Dodgers have had that luxury to be able to slow play Will Smith to make sure he's near or close to 100%. And they can use Will Smith as that weapon, like they did in game 1 and obviously in game 2 when he came out off the bench and, got in the game and had a huge 2-run single. So I have a feeling, now that they worked Will Smith in, I think he's going to be a starter game 3. But if not, they have confidence in Ben Rortvedt because he does a great job calling the game, just like Will Smith. But listen, Will Smith is a difference maker, as we all know, with the bat, also with the arm. He has a rocket of an arm. It's very accurate. He really kind of slows down the running game as well. So I'm hoping Will Smith is back in the lineup in game 3 because anytime you're dealing with that throwing hand, having that little fracture in his hand, it could be an issue. So hopefully he's healthy enough to start because we all know that Will Smith is an absolutely difference maker in the lineup.
FT fam, let's talk about Superpower. Erik Kratz is a proud Superpower customer, and he's going to give us more of the personal experience. But I'll just start it with this. You ever go to the doctor and the doc's just like, oh, drink more water? Are you looking for more data, more of a game plan? Superpower does that for you. They give you the experience that athletes get with teams.
The lab results came back for me. Now it streamlines everything that I kind of had an idea of, but now it really lets me focus on the things that I'm deficient in, the things that I have good lab test results from, and I could go in that direction I want to go.
Nutritional guidance, supplement suggestions, you name it. There's so much more info to check out at superpower.com. And you can lock in the special $199 price while it lasts after you sign up. They're going to ask you how you heard about them. Mention FT to support the show. Your biology decoded, your blueprint activated with Superpower.
I want to talk about the biggest play that happened yesterday on the wheel play bunt. I want to get to know if you've heard anything about what they do on their bunt plays. And second, as an infielder, well, as a hitter, you're supposed to bunt the ball at third base. You want that third baseman to come through and attack the ball, which is what you're ultimately trying to get out of them. They just did it to perfection. The bunt went to third base. All of a sudden, I'm just drawing a blank. Who was at third base, Scotty? Muncie's at third base. Yeah. Makes the play. Throws the ball to third, and Mookie, I felt like Mookie was the separation from him and Castellanos wasn't even that far away, and then he just took off. It was the perfect play. I thought the bunt was perfect, don't get me wrong, but I think the execution of the Dodgers was a lot better.
That phrase, you're exactly right. I'm going to take the Phillies side. This is a really good bunt. You're taught to deaden the ball towards third base, which he does. It's a really good bunt by Stott. But here's the thing. Teams don't really practice bunt plays anymore because a lot of teams don't bunt anymore. This is not like, 15 years ago when you have the pitcher bunting and you have this wheel play. You have so many different plays to defend the bunt. This all happened because of Mookie Betts. When they all got on the mound, Mookie said, you know what? All the momentum has gone towards the Phillies. We got to make sure we cut down that runner at third base if and when they do bunt. Because if he gets to third base less than 2 outs, they tie the ball game up. And then now all the momentum goes to the Philadelphia Phillies. So that was really Mookie Betts saying, hey, let's just make this play happen. Let's do it. Max Muncy does an incredible job crashing, as well as Freddie Freeman. For us, and this phrase, you want him to bunt it towards first because now the first baseman, Freddie Freeman, a Gold Glover, he's got a clear look to third base. So Stott does the right thing, bunts it and deadens it towards third base. But Max Muncy really makes that play because he crashes hard. And he's almost on top of him when he makes that play, and he fires an absolute strike. A moving target in Mookie Betts and able to apply the attack. And I will say this, Mookie Betts showed the crash late. That is so important for a shortstop. You see him break. He's breaking after the pitch is practically released. So now as a hitter, if I'm up at the plate like Stott, I'm seeing the shortstop break. And once I see the shortstop break, then I'm going to slash. But because Mookie Betts did it so late and he's so fast going over there, Stott says, okay, they're not doing the will play. I'll just execute the bunch, which he does. So Mookie Betts is really the one who set up that play because he broke to the bag late. The attention to detail, man, was so perfect. And I want to say another thing. Mookie applies the tag. After Freddie Freeman knows that ball's not coming to him, Freddie Freeman makes a beeline towards second base to make sure second base is covered. And that way, Stott doesn't go from first to second base. It was a well-executed bump play, something that I would expect the 1990s type of teams to execute. But these guys executed perfection, and they don't practice that play. That just goes to show their baseball IQ, and it was just so well run, man. It was really fun to see.
So well run. You forgot the fact that the dude's got 6 Gold Gloves at another position. It's really his first full season playing it. It's like, yeah, you know what, guys? Out here in this wiffle ball game, we're going to go do this. Let's go to the end of the game. Tommy Edman's throw. One, has this been something that you've seen? Is it something that going forward, has there been some no? And
No.
Two, does Freddie get overlooked at first base because of what he does? You just said it on him covering second base. Because he hits so well and he's kind of stiff looking. Does he get overlooked at first base?
I think maybe nationally he may get overlooked, but I have the luxury to see these guys play every single night. And I remember when Freddie Freeman signed with the Dodgers, David Ross, who was the manager with the Cubs at the time, we played together with the Reds. He said, man, I'm telling you, he's a baseball player. He's going to be the best base runner you've ever seen. I've never seen a guy go first to third or first to home better than Freddie Freeman. The angles he takes, and he was right. Incredible base runner as well. But on the defensive side, he's a Gold Glover for a reason. He saves so many throws in the dirt, making it look easy, saving his infielders. And listen, as a former infielder myself, third, short, and second, sometimes you're not going to get the best grips on the baseball. You got to be able to fire it over there and pray that your first baseman can pick you up. On the Tommy Edman throw, I have never seen Tommy Edman make a bad throw, ever. At shortstop, third base, and at second base. He's a Gold Glover second baseman. The only thing I can think of is when he had the ball, he didn't have the best grip. And as an infielder, sometimes you start to get your grip on the fly. Okay, as I'm going back, then I'll find the grip and I'll be able to throw. He didn't have the grip, and he knew, guess who was running? Trey Turner, flying down the line. And he said, God, I just got to get it over there. And he threw it over there. And fortunately for all of us, Freddie Freeman was able to pick him up. But no, I have never seen Tommy Edman make a bad throw. That's probably the only bad throw I'll ever see him make because he is so fundamentally sound and is so accurate with his throws.
Jerry, Philadelphia is on fire right now. One, because they're about to be eliminated. Two, Aaron Nola is pitching. He is starting the game tomorrow. Philly fans are like, why? from a Dodgers point of view, look at the Phillies' decision to pitch Aaron Nola. Do you feel like that gives them an advantage because of how they've struggled against left-handers early in this series? And now, to me, their biggest linchpin in the lineup is Max Muncy. He gets to start, but then he's got to face lefties. So from a Dodgers standpoint, do you go, ooh, I'm licking my chops. We might get 2 or 3 off of Nola before they can even pull him.
Listen, I understand the Philly fans. I get it, why they feel like they just dropped 2 at home. Like I mentioned earlier, it is a tough place to play there. And for the Dodgers to steal a game, then steal 2, that's huge. On the flip side, and I'm just going to kind of reiterate what Max Muncy said last night, also Mookie Betts. Listen, you don't take anything for granted. This is the Phillies team, veteran players on that team. You have world champions like Kyle Schwarber, world champion like Trey Turner as well. Guys that are veteran guys that aren't going to be rattled by going into Dodger Stadium. They're very familiar with that ballpark. So I'm sure they're going to go out there and make sure they put their best foot forward. And you're going to have to play, the Dodgers are, they're going to have to play their best game. They're not going to roll over. That team is not going to roll over. And to really answer your question, I think manager Rob Thompson is trying to give them a different look. We've faced 2 lefties. You throw the right-hander out, like you kind of reiterated with Nola, and maybe he gets you 3 or 4 strong innings, and possibly, I have a feeling maybe Ranger Suarez comes in after him to piggyback him when you have your left-handed hitters already in the lineup for the Dodgers. So listen, I know there's always a cat and mouse game, but their backs are against the wall. I think everybody's going to be available for the Phillies, and they're a desperate team, and they're just thinking, hey, if we just get game 1, the first game at Dodger Stadium, which is game 3, all the pressure really shifts back to the Dodgers in game 4 because they know they don't want to go back to Philly for game 5. So there's still pressure on the Dodgers, pressure on both sides. You just got to play good baseball, man. And hopefully with the Dodgers' sake, they continue to play good baseball and really put this veteran Phillies team away.